Okay, I got one apron in already. It's all welded in. Put this down. It's welded solid out through here. Tacks up through here. Welded solid in the top. Tacks through here. It's going to have seam sealer down through there. One thing different that I'm doing on this one than I did on the last one. This is my second time putting these aprons in. So the first time the customer had panels that go on the strut towers too to cover up all them holes. When I did all that, I was like, man, it seemed like it would be a whole lot easier to weld up the holes instead of do that. Well, to me, for time and looks and strength, I think this is the best way to do it, is weld up the holes instead of putting them smooth panels in. And also on the last one, I welded all through here because them panels kind of butted up through here. Plus I put seam sealer down through here. Without putting that panel here, I was able to just spot weld through here instead of welding it solid, because I'm going to put seam sealer anyway. So that'll fill up that gap, and that'll be just fine. Seam sealer will go all in these grooves here too, and straight across there. You can kind of see that piece, the strut tower is not perfectly straight. So what I did is I curved the metal a little bit just to follow the strut tower. Yeah, I got it welded up through there. Something I wanted to show you before I started putting this side in is make sure you put some kind of primer through here so it won't start rusting underneath the panel. And this is how the panel comes. Let me set it over here. It at the bottom, over top of the frame, it rolls over just like this, and it is straight. Well, the problem is, you can tell in the frame, but the frame is not straight. It's got they go to the strut tower and then they widen out to the bumper support. So they're not perfectly straight. So what I do is I flatten this bend out, and when I go to put it on, then I get it fitting all right where I want it, and then I mark the bottom of the panel, and then I trim the panel to follow the curve. I don't know if you can kind of see this frame rail curves just like that. So if I didn't do that, there'd be a gap right in this area. It would be straight, but there'd be a gap. Well, the last car that I did got panels that welded in against the frame rail. Again, I think this is the easiest and best way to do it, is just weld up the holes instead of put that panel there, because on that other one, I made the frame straight, and that takes up some room that you may need for some reason in the engine bay. So this way, you still have the same amount of room as you would factory, and to me, it looks a whole lot smoother. The other one, I left the bend in the panel, so it came over, and then I had to spot weld out through there, and then seam sealed the edge of that lip that folded over. Now, when I got done with it, it looked good, but I think this is better. And if you wanted to go check out what I'm talking about, if I don't make no sense trying to explain it here, you can go back to my I quit my job video. I'll post it up here, and check it out, and you'll see more of what I'm talking about in that video. This way, I've spent less time putting these aprons in than the last one. And to me, I think it's gonna turn out a lot better than the last one also, as far as fit and finish. So there's where I flattened that bend out, there's a few low spots out through here. You know, you get a little bit of filler, that way it's nice and straight and everything. Which there's some imperfections in it where I welded and everything like that. So that'll all get smoothed out when I start doing the body work to it. But other than that, this side is ready to go, and I'm going to start on this side. Another thing that I'm going to add is that, if you'll notice, this right here is taller than the frame rail here. So if you just cut it like this here and you start putting the apron in, it's going to want to bulge. It's going to come up and then bulge up here. Well, if you cut right down in here and let that fold down to where it meets this edge, then you'll have just a gradual slope, which this have a gradual slope anyway. That's the way it's designed. You can kind of see the back there is higher than the front of the frame rail. That's how they're designed. This is a lot higher than this side, which you could cut this off, but then you're going to run out of room up at the top. So if you plan on doing that, just make sure you leave you enough area up here. But they're designed to have a little bit of a slope to them. So this will make a bulge in it if you don't relief cut it and knock it down. And then the whole panel will have a nice slope, even throughout. And I guess I could show you back here where I did it, which I'll hammer and dolly it a lot straighter, clean it up a little bit, and seam seal. I'll seam seal all these cracks. That way nothing gets down in there and tries to rot the frame rail out or anything like that. But you can see where my spot welds where they come through the panel here. And then my little tacks all throughout the top here, welding it solid. And then the spot welds down through here next to the strut tower. And then all the places that I welded up inside, which I haven't touched any of this, so I'm going to, before I'm done, I'm going to clean all this up too. That way it don't look disgusting or anything like that. I'd rather it be smooth on the backside too, even though you're not going to see it. But yeah, you can kind of see there's a tiny gap all the way out through there. So this one fit really nice. Just a few adjustments I had to make. I had to trim this edge down so it fit a little bit better too. But yeah, enough rambling. I'm gonna start on this side. All right, I started tacking this side in, and before I got it all welded up and started grinding it, I wanted to show you basically how I tack it. I've got the spot welds up through here. Don't mind these ugly ones. They hit the weld through primer and they didn't want to weld very good. And then got the spot welds up through here. They're all going to get ground down and smooth anyway. And then up here I went and tacked about an inch or so apart from each other, and tacked it all the way down, and then let it cool off. Actually went down here and put some tacks just like this was up here at the top to start with. Tacked the bottom, and then what I did is I tacked about the inch to connect one to the other, and then cooled it off with the air hose. Then moved to my next stretch and just made some runs like that. You don't really have to worry about what they look like or anything, which, I mean, they're basically just small tacks is what I'm doing. And then just getting good penetration, trying to get good penetration, and that way I can come back and grind it smooth, and it looks something like this here. So that's what I'm after. The pasture side over there had a little bit more of a gap in it than this. This gap here is doing really good, so I'm able to weld it up pretty good. But then down here, what I did is I just tacked it. There's some parts of it that I cut off that's overlapping a little bit, and then right here, that's what you're after right there, so you get good a good weld to both. What I'll do is, when I come past this one, I'll grind this metal down to the edge of the frame here, all the way down through here, and then I'll weld in between my gaps, and then when I grind it down, I'll grind these down and probably weld these again, because they're probably not they probably didn't get very good penetration the way they were. But this holds it where it needs to be, so it won't try and warp or anything. So yeah, I'm gonna keep welding out through there, and then come down here and finish the bottom, and then she'll be welded in, and then start grinding them down. All right, you can see I've got it all welded throughout, good enough to grind down smooth. You can run your hands across here, and there's no warping. There is a little bend here where I push the metal into this divot here, so it follows the contour of that. But other than that, there's no waviness or anything like that. All this is nice and straight. See here, I grinded in between each tack that I had to a bevel to the frame rail, and then came back and I tacked in the centers of everything. And now I'll grind these down, and then I'll connect my tacks with welds all the way throughout, and to make it a nice edge throughout here. Should be nice and strong, good enough to grind down and roll just like this. It should come out just like this when I'm done. So I'm going to continue welding this. Okay, so I got it all welded across the bottom. Of course, so welded across the top. I'm fixing to start grinding, but I'm going to show you a nice bead all the way across. I guess you could call it a bead. It's a bunch of little tacks is what it is. I did build this up with weld right here because it was low. The factory frame had a low spot in it right here. I didn't want to build it up with Bondo, so I filled it with metal, so when I grind down, it should be flat. But I'm going to get to grinding now. And just like that, it is all ground down and looks pretty good. Little low place was right there, but it'll work. Yeah, turned out real good. I'm happy with it. Now I'll start sanding it all down with 80 grit to feather all these grind marks out, and start swiping some filler and getting it look even better. What's up, everybody? It's Saturday, kind of morning, 9:30, 10 o'clock or whatever. Over here at RPG in Greenback, Tennessee. About an hour and a half, a little bit more drive from the house there. I am delivering this New Edge convertible Coyote swap car that Brad did the fab work on. Delivering it down here to them. There it is right there in the back. They're going to be getting it running and tuning it and everything. This shop is closer to the owner's house, so he wanted RPG to do the tuning and everything like that, just in case there's an issue or something like that. It's closer to him to drive it back to have them straighten it out. So I'm going to get this thing unloaded, and hopefully the owner will be here shortly. He's supposed to meet me, so I'm gonna get it unloaded and parked over here. Looks like they got quite a bit of room, but they deal with a lot of Mustangs. Turn the camera around here. You can see they got some S550s, GT500. Looks like a Raptor or a converted F-150. But yeah, first time I've ever been here, but I want to get this thing unloaded. So working on this blue car this afternoon. I got it jacked up. He come here for, like I said, to fix the damage on the front bumper and to adjust the seat bracket. And I'm not sure if I told you or not video wise that Brad got the seat bracket all fixed up and nice where it should be a whole lot better for him. And he asked me if I'd be able to take the exhaust off for him and install these turn down pipes. Now I ordered these turn down pipes. If you need any parts or anything like that, I'm a distributor for quite a few different companies. I got a Turn 14 account, and I was able to get these from QuickTime Performance, 3-inch adjustable turn downs. Got these for him, saved him a little bit of money on these, and that's what he wants on here now. Now it's got a nice X pipe under it that stops right at the rear end, straight, don't turn down even on the ends. It looks like it's got some type of bullet mufflers on it, but these turn downs here will bolt right up to the header just like that, and that's what he's wanting. That's going to make it considerably louder, but yeah, should work good. I'm going to do that. He also wanted, it had the V6 horse and grill emblem in the front bumper. I ordered him a Mach 1 grill delete, and it came in also from Late Model Restoration. So when I go to put the front bumper on, I'm going to put this on also, but I can't do that just yet because he wanted some mesh behind it, some black mesh to kind of disguise the silver radiator in the back, kind of break that up. You didn't want that to show too good, so I got some black mesh coming, but it won't be here till Monday. So the grill wasn't supposed to come till Monday, but it came a day early. So yeah, I would put the front bumper on right now too, but waiting on that mesh. But when it comes, I'll get it put on. But I'll finish the exhaust up, and that'd be one less thing to do. All right, I got the exhaust all took down and the turnouts installed. Not something that I necessarily like. I kind of like my cars either, you know, if they're turboed. I mean, it's kind of the same thing, I guess. If it's turboed, running the exhaust out the front bumper, or if it's a motor nitrous car, I actually like to have tailpipes on them. This makes it a little too loud for me, and if you're around here and you're going in some of these gravel parking lots at the track, these shoot down and throw dust all over the car and stuff. So I don't necessarily like these, but a lot of people do. I do like the exhaust setup that was on it though. Nice and large setup. I'd probably, shoot, I'd like to have that on like a coupe and hook up some tailpipes to it. That'd be pretty good. It's a 3-inch exhaust. Looks like it was made pretty well. I don't think there's any, get away from the car there. There's no names on the on these mufflers, so I'm not sure what they are. But yeah, not a bad setup here. But exhaust with no cats are hard to find right now, so it's kind of have to make it all custom. But yeah, a nice setup there. So I've went as far as I can on this GT here. Get the bumper out here and see how it turned out. It turned out really good. I put the chin spoiler on. I put part of the grill delete, Mach 1 grill delete on. This is part of it. This is the other part. And what it'll do is it will fit in there just like that. And when the mesh comes in tomorrow, I'll put the mesh in the back side here and secure it. That's why I can't put this on yet, because of that mesh. But I'll put the mesh on, then I'll put that in there and put the horse right in the center. See, because the V6, the horse is made to the grill on it, but the horse will bolt in just like that. And that'll look a lot better than, I think it looks a lot better than the V6 style myself. But yeah, as far as I can go on it right now, remember the damage was over here on the front bumper, not here no more. This is a little small block Ford 302 base motor that's in it, a little nitrous car. It's nice and clean. I really like this car. But that'll do it. Tomorrow I'll finish it up.